In this video I am playing a hardcore paladin in classic, so enjoy the stash. First off, we start off by attacking busy boss, trying to get some money from a wand so we can buy a scepter, basically for damage. So we start off by putting points in resist fire. And you're thinking like, why would I do that? But on level 6 you get holy fire, and holy fire deals a fuck ton of damage. So this is players 8, and you can see that I'm still kind of capable of killing them. I am also very capable of running away and hoping for the best, but lightning enchanted players 8 and not dying immediately is just fantastic to start off with. So this is still players 8, and you're just seeing me pound down champion vile hunters without any problems, which is fantastic experience. Same for the returned archers. Basically, once you hit holy fire and you hit it high enough, you can't really lose in normal, except for when fanaticism ghosts are being terrifying. And you can tell that I'm using a dagger. That's just because it's the fastest stabbing weapon that I could find. Basically, you don't deal melee damage anyway, so you might as well just trigger it as many times as possible. One little tip is just lure everything into a door. And don't do this. And then for the smith, we one-on-one him. It's fine. I was only one hit away from that, and one is not zero, so. We gamble some gloves, open the door, run away from the shit behind the door, and then we try and fight some tainted. And basically we're just playing dodgeball here. So we dodge to the left and we dodge to the right, and in the meanwhile the aura is ticking down their life totals, which is kind of what I'm waiting for here, because between cursed and the high player count, this is pretty terrifying. But you know, I'll survive. I wouldn't make a video where I die in act 1 normal, like there's just not enough material to work with. Yeah, this was pretty dangerous. And this is players 8 and Dariel, and she dies. Then we head into Act 2, and you can really tell that the Holy Fire aura is doing its work, except against skeletons because those have high fire resist, but we do end up just easily killing Radamant for the Book of Skill. And we find a mace that is a cross flange. That's a fantastic weapon against bosses because it has crushing blow. And after that, the aura is just high enough that we can go ahead and just kill everything by poking it down from a distance. And that is exactly what we do. So we do move along a bit, but most things just die before we get there. And look at this, it's just beautiful, like all the scarabs are gone. Same here, boop, gone. And then it's time for Duriel. This is players 1 Duriel. And look at that fight, this is just beautiful. And he's gone. And I waited on the den, because then you can do that and it's very easy. Shamans do hurt though, so be careful. And once again, just lure things into a door and kill them very easily. I thought my resist were too low, so I just jammed some gems into a shield, and then I walked along through Act 3. Well, once again, things just died very easily, and almost comes through hard with that insane ring. But we are respecting because I want to play a hammer, so we respec into the hammers, we gamble some more equipment, and then we head towards the council, where we just, hammer them down. And then it's time for the Durans, where the dolls are alive, because they're called undead Stygian dolls, get it? What you're seeing here, by the way, is the Holy Fire and the Concentration aura on me. That's just a visual bug because I haven't switched off the skill yet. And then we walk up to Mephisto and very easily kill him because we are hammered him and the rules of the game don't apply to us. Same goes for Ishwal. We just walk up to him and kill him, and there goes Act 4 for the rest. It's the River of Flame. We go for a rune, but this is classic, so runes don't exist. I find a +2 Vigor staff, and it's the best thing I found so far, so. One thing you'll notice on my gear in this run is that gear in Classic is just sad. Like, there's just nothing really good. But yeah, hammers are very good, so we are just very easily killing stuff here. And it's Diablo time. And there are 2 ways to kill Diablo on normal, and the one way to do it is by not doing what I'm doing and just walking up to him. What you should be doing is dodging the lightning and spacing out. But I just wanted to face tank him. We also find a Mahim Oak. And then we find some light plated boots in Nightmare. And those are also dual resist with some MF. So that makes me very happy while we move along towards Andariel. Who drops us a Grand Scepter with +2 Blessed Hammer. And that is just an excellent weapon. That's like Spirit in Classic. Go again for the Book of Skill. We kill Fang Skin. Then we make our way through the Maggot Lair. As you can tell, it's not ideal, but we will get through it. With that, we go to Tall Russia's tomb, and one thing you need to learn here is how to throw hammers across a door. And there's 2 ways to do it. You can just stand in the door and pray that you survive, or you can learn to aim. And one is very skillful, and the other is what I did. And then we had to Duriel Nightmare, and you can just face tank him. At this point in the game, the bosses are just not very relevant anymore, because you can just walk up to all of them and kill them. And while Duriel is looking kinda scary, like you can tell our life total is never going below 200, so... Oh, and don't forget to switch to the Vigor Aura when you're running away from him, because Holy Freeze will make you very, very slow. But with that, Duriel goes down. And I find a belt with some resistances. And I gamble some more gear, so there's some gloves. And then we had, what, Mephisto normal, because I felt my gear was a bit underpowered. I also find a ton of Gothic shields there. And I find Saigon boots, Saigon belts, and the Saigon shield. And this is basically your main gear for the rest of the run. So 3-piece Saigons gives me 50 MF. I also find a set amulet. It's not a Tarashas, because that's not in the game. And I find a Jade figurine when we head towards Nightmare Act 3. And we also run away from a spider because we are sneakily arachnophobic. And spiders hit really, really hard. And of course it's time for some souls. Because what else would we encounter here? So we ride the lightning and hope for the best. But it's Nightmare. We have very good resistances, so we're fine. We get the Gibbed in. But almost not coming through as clutch as he did last time. So we go and pick up our dirty brain. Kill some dudes. And this is me actually aiming the hammers around the door. Because if I don't, I will die here. And in the meanwhile, I head towards the sewers and towards the council again. I'm just running around so to make sure that they will go into the hammers. Basically what you want to do is track them into the hammer so they take a bunch of damage and die. Also almost clicked that fire shrine over there, but do manage to stop myself. And after that it's time for the other half of the council and dolls. It's always time for dolls. I'm having a doll of a time in this Durance. I hate that pun so much. But yeah, look at me, I'm clearing maulers and dolls! Get wrecked, fuck your life total. And more dolls. Run away, run away! And more dolls. Why is it always dolls? Why does the Durance just hate me? Why do I always get dolls? But after that I do end up finding level 3 with Mephisto in it, and I can just stand next to him and punch him in the dick. I mean throw hammers. I find a pike, but mercenaries aren't a thing here, so it's useless. And in Act 4 I just roll my way around while I'm throwing some stuff around. And at this point I'm basically strong enough to go into hell, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kill stuff a lot. And the hardest part of this really is just aiming the hammers. I end up finding a ring with some cold resist and mana after each kill, and that's just great. The dexterity doesn't matter because block percentage is not relevant. The dexterity does not give block in classic, so it doesn't matter. After that I skip the Hellforge and I make my way towards the Chaos Sanctuary for the second time, but I find a rare serpent skin armor, which can't be a skin of the Viper Magi because that does not exist yet. I find a Death Mask, but that's also not relevant because, well, that's fanaticism on the floor and the Tarashas mask doesn't exist either. But the size. And then I kill the demons again and make my way towards the big guy, Diablo. And you can just stand right next to him. His lightning can't hit you if you stand right in his, yeah. Let's call it face. Let's say you're in his face. And with that we are level 40, so we are going into hell. But our resistances are pretty low. So I decided to just use some flawless gems that I have laying around. And get some more resist. So this cost me a +1 skill, but my resists are very good now, so we can move along, and we are just doing the same thing as we did before, smashing the hammers around while luring everything into them. And basically this is just how you want to learn to throw hammers. Just throw 1 or 2 and just make everything walk into them. Same here, these are a bit faster, so I figured I'd show it. Just 1 hammer and walk, 1 hammer and walk, and just... Look, you can see things are dying, so that's what you want. And at this point in the barracks I decided, well, maybe this might be a bit risky to be level 40 in hell. I also find the third flawless diamond. And then we head towards the smith and I'm like, this might be risky. Well, he basically two-shots me, so I might be right on that. And yeah, this is pretty terrifying, because he hits like a truck. And I'm level 40 in hell, don't forget. So I do end up grabbing the Horadric Malus. And just running around and kiting him. And just kite him some more, and at this point I'm bored, so I'm gonna go and kill him. I use that rune scepter that I saw on the ground to make a new weapon, and it has some resistances at +1 skill, so now I have max resist all. And with that I decide to go back to night map, because that was a bit too risky against the smith, so I'm like, okay, maybe need to grind some levels. So I almost die immediately in the Chaos Sanctuary. But Diablo does end up giving me a lot of experience. And I also find an armor, a splint mail, and after that I continue farming. And this is just players 8 on the Chaos Sanctuary and Nightmare, which almost never goes almost wrong. And you can really tell the difference in a few levels. Look at how this fight goes compared to how the last fight against the smith goes. After that we're kiting some ghosts around. We head towards Andariel again. We can basically just, face tank now. I might have actually overdone it on the leveling. I went to like level 55 or something, and it might have been a bit too high. Because this is like 5 boss packs and champions and shit, and I'm just very easily clearing them. Like, it's no problem at all. And because people demanded to see it the last time, this is me doing the maggot lair in hell. You just go up to a monster and kill them one by one, by one, by one. Pro tip, if you want to get through the maggot lair, go right, always go right. After that I decided to gamble some more equipment, so I end up finding these gloves with some lightning resist and some MF. And that brings me towards the Claw Viper Temple for the 3rd time. And luckily there's a well there, because Fangskin hits really hard and is cursed. After that I go into the harem, where things start to damage me, but I do end up making it towards the summoner. And the Canyon of the Magi, where I kill some stuff, and basically I'm just showing like, okay, you can clear the game with this, but it's a Hammerdim, so we kind of know this, but to be fair, this is less good than it is in Lord of Destruction in the full game, because you don't have spirit, you don't have stealth. But yeah, you're still a Hammerdim. That device that I have with 3 sockets in it, with Holy Shield, that has max block, because your block percentage on the shield is your actual block percentage, nothing of that attack space nonsense. It's just like if the shield says 55 block, you have 55 block with it, which is really cool. I like that way more than what they did in the full game. We are clearing our way throughout Act 3. And the Flayer Dungeon, which is always a very risky area. Lots of stuff that's really dangerous, like dolls and ghosts. But especially dolls. So this is me kiting around a unique pack of dolls. Again. Man, I was so sick of dolls at the end of this. And then I head towards the Ruined Temple because I want to get my stats. But as you can tell, this is not going ideal, so I leave the game. And I barely made it out alive, so I had good timing there. And then I decide to fuck it, let's not take my 5 stats, instead let's survive the run. So I head towards the sewers and the council again, and the council is just not a problem for a Hammerdim. You have a wide open area to work with, so you can just very easily kill them. So you can get to the runs and get fucked over by dolls again. Man, it was so many dolls in this run. This is just me being reminded, also fuck this room, I'm out. But this is just me being reminded of, well, I did the double enemy density run and it was all dolls and I got killed by a doll and they were like, yeah, we can do that again. So one little trick I do here is I go back to Nightmare to reset my map and just re-roll to a good map because I was so sick of the dolls. And I just walk up to level 3 and just kill stuff. And go towards everybody's favorite loot pinata again. Who is barely a threat at this point. And in Act 4 things do hit really hard, so I have to be careful. But I end up finding a War Scepter, which is a Storm Eye. And at this point I'm like, man, maybe I should have been a Fist of the Heavens Paladin, which would have been cool, but you never know. I could respec, but I'm not gonna respec for one final act. Once again, get rid of the Isual. And go and kill some Damned in the City of the Damned. And at this point it's basically just get to Diablo as fast as you can and be done. And because I get the max block for free, I have way more life than I usually have, so that's really nice. That's also a bit too good probably. But I do like it though. And meanwhile we are just dodging Lord to sides because Cursed and Fanaticism is terrifying. And once more Fanaticism and lower resist. It's not better, I actually prefer the Cursed, I think. And we have the final Venom Lords. The Hammered In is just one of the best Chaos runners in the game, and this is no different in Classic, so... This is it, the Diablo fight. It's not even fast forwarded it. So this is our gear. As you can tell, it's complete shit, but it doesn't matter, this is Classic. If you're thinking like, why does he have so little resist? In Classic the resistances are lowered a lot less than in the expansion. So we ended the game at level 62. And this is my build. This is the same as every other Paladin I've ever done. It's fine, you know how it works. I like this screen a lot more than the full game screen. And this is King Classic. And thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.